Genesis chapter 3. The serpent speaks truth and deception. Did the serpent ever really tell the truth? Was he being honest? Let's find out. Let's dig into it. In Genesis chapter 3, let's quote verse 5. For God knows that in the day you eat thereof, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. Did the serpent tell the truth? Were they really going to be like God? Well, in Genesis chapter 3, verse 22, God himself confirms it. Now man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. And that's exactly what happened. Their eyes were opened, just like the serpent said they would be. Now, do we have another witness in the Bible talking about this? I think we do. In 1 John chapter 3, verse 2, Beloved, now we are children of God, and it does not yet appear what we shall be. But when he appears, we shall be like him, and we shall see him as he is. Well, now that kind of sums it up now, doesn't it? We shall be like him, and we shall see him as he is. Well, that implies that we don't know what he's like yet. We haven't seen him as he is. His identity is hidden. Imagine that. But do we have yet another witness? I think we do. Philippians chapter 2, verse 5. Having this mind among yourselves, which is yours in Christ Jesus. Do you understand? That's talking about you. Having this mind. So this is who you are. Verse 6. Who though was in the form of God, did not count it robbery to be equal with God, but took on the form of a servant. You Christians, you take on the form of a servant, and you take on the image of God. You take on the form of God. So here again we have another witness that he counts it not robbery to be equal with God, to be like God. So the serpent did tell the truth. There is truth in deception. The serpent speaks. So here we go. I'll save the best for last. Did anything in Genesis show up in Revelation? Does it talk about that? I think it does. Let's look at that as well. Revelation chapter 3. You say I am rich, I have grown wealthy and need nothing, but you do not realize that you are wretched, pitiful, poor, blind, and naked. Now, who told us that? Remember, the eyes were opened. They were blind. They were naked. Remember that? Now, this is Revelation, so this is Jesus speaking. So he's basically quoting the serpent. Wow, imagine that. Verse 18. I counseled you to buy from me gold refined by fire, so that you may become rich. White garments, so that you may be clothed and your shame not be exposed. Remember, God made them loincloths, but here Jesus wants to give them white garments. Kind of sounds like something a serpent would say, doesn't it? And salve to anoint your eyes so you may see. Wow, that sounds a lot like what the serpent would say, doesn't it? There in Genesis chapter 3. Let's read on. Verse 20 down here. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and dine with him, and he with me. You see, this is all about fruit. It's all about eating, supping. It's a communion, if you will, having communion. So you're eating and drinking. Now, he stands at the door and knocks. Now, where have we heard that before? I think God said something about that. He was talking to Cain, actually. Genesis chapter 4, verse 7. If you do well, will I not accept you? But if you do not well, sin lies at the door. It desires you. It desires to have you, but you must rule over it. You see, that's what Jesus is doing. He is desiring to have you, but you must rule over him. You see, this is the serpent speaking. The serpent speaks. And there is truth in deception if you have eyes to see and ears to hear. This is a very deep subject to understand and to really look into, but I hope you enjoyed it. This is Bible by Definition. I'll see you again.